There is more trouble for Mahinda Rajapaksa. Channel 4 News of the United Kingdom has uncovered a WikiLeaks cable which says that the United States believes that the responsibility for this alleged war crimes in Sri Lanka rests with its leaders, including President Mahinda Rajapaksa. Now, according to Channel 4 News, the cable was released on the 1st of December on WikiLeaks website. Now, what does this say? The cable was sent from the US Embassy in Colombo on the 15th of January 2010 under the heading Sri Lankan War Crimes Accountability, the Tamil Perspective. Now, in this, the US Ambassador in Colombo writes that it's unsurprising that Sri Lanka's government has not investigated the issue, noting there are no examples we know of a regime undertaking wholesale investigations of its own troops or senior officials for war crimes while that regime of government remained in power. The cable goes on to say, in Sri Lanka, this is further complicated by the fact that responsibility for many of the alleged crimes rests with the country's senior civilian and military leadership, including President Mahinda Rajapaksa and his brothers, the opposition candidate General Fonseca. Channel 4 News also carries this statement from the US State Department to Channel 4 News. The State Department will not comment on the authenticity of any of the documents released by WikiLeaks. For 25 years, the Sri Lankan government fought the LTTE. Initially, the LTTE occupied major parts of north and east in their war efforts. But by 2008, the Sri Lankan army, of course under the leadership of President Rajapaksa, turned the tide. In 2009, at the end of the conflict, the government forces had pushed the LTTE into a tight corner in the north end of Sri Lanka. And there, the war ended in that last flash of brutality on May 19, 2009. The US State Department reports that interest groups allege in the final days there were 7,000 civilian deaths. Survivors have stated that the government killed rebels who surrendered, a violation of Article 3 of the Geneva Convention. Human rights and relief organizations also accuse the government of blocking humanitarian aid, including from the Red Cross. The United Nations has been putting pressure on Sri Lanka to consent to an investigation of the events that took place from January to May 2009, but Sri Lanka has refused. UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon has set up a panel of 3 experts on international law to report on legal standards applicable to the situation in Sri Lanka. To possibly stave off international scrutiny, Sri Lankan President Mahinda Rajapaksa established a Lessons Learned and Reconciliation Commission in May 2010. This commission has yet to come out with its report.